Hello friends, I'm Satchio. Welcome to SATCHIYOGA. I'm going to be showing you a beginner yoga flow that will help with your tight hamstrings. So if you look like this, or if you look like this, or if your face looks like this whenever you try and pick something up, this will help. We're going to start with a very non-traditional yoga pose, but it's more of a stretch. What you're going to do is find either a kitchen countertop, a dining table, maybe a dresser, something about the height of your hips. I'm doing something that's a little bit taller, but it doesn't really matter. So the reason we're going to find one of those items is because your hand's going to place flat on it. You can use a wall, but your hands kind of look like this and it creates a bit of unnecessary pressure on your wrists. So finding your item, fingers are spread, you're gripping it. We're going to slowly walk back. And the reason I like to begin with this is because here with our hands placed flat onto our surface and our feet placed flat onto the ground, creates a bit more stability. You don't have to focus on balance. And right now, just focus on any tightness that you feel in your hamstrings. Just breathe slowly here. And we're going to bend our right knee, swing our hips to the right. You can bend it as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. And then straighten it. And then bend your left knee, swing your hips to the left. And then just do that a few times. It's best to do stretches that focus on the right and left side of your body because it'll show which side is a bit more dominant, which side's a bit more tight. That's just going to be natural with any person's body. And once you've done it a few times on either side, we're going to focus on both right and left. So bending knees at the same time, your hips go all the way down to your ankles. Oh, that's the aim, doesn't have to. And then just straighten. And again, a few times in your own timing. I like to focus on doing movements that are bending and stretching, creates a bit more warmth to that area. Gets the blood circulating as well. And then we're going to just do one inhale and exhale, slowly coming up, and then walking back to your item. Now we're going to begin with our proper yoga flow. So coming to the mat, we're going to do cat and cows. Our wrists are placed directly underneath our shoulders, knees directly underneath our hips. We're going to inhale. Chest comes forward, looking up, and our tailbone also tilts up. Exhale, chin to chest, round out your shoulder blades, draw your navel in, and your tailbone tucks in. Inhale. Chest comes forward, looking up, tailbone tilts. I really want you to focus on your tailbone tilting because that will be important later. And then exhale, chin to chest, rounding out your shoulder blades, navel draws in, and tuck your tailbone. And a few of these, again, in your own timing. We're just warming up our body, doing things in our own time. And then coming back to neutral, we're going to make our way into downward dog. So your wrists should be shoulder width apart. Your fingers are spread and gripping the mat. You're going to make sure your elbows are facing in, and that's just going to help with our upper body alignment. Your hips reach all the way up and you let your heels hang heavy. If they don't touch the mat, that's fine. We're going to pedal out our feet. So it's the same thing. You just straighten one leg and bend the other. Then coming back to stillness, you're going to raise your right leg, bend your right knee. You're going to bring your right knee all the way down to the mat and then just drop your left knee so it also touches the mat. You're going to come up and just place your right foot in between your hands. We're going to come up into a crescent lunge, and with this one you can use any item that's nearby. So if you've got a coffee table, couch, bed, your bedside. You can use that to help you balance. I'm going to come up into a crescent lunge. So left knee comes up all the way off the mat. If you've got a prop, you can place your hands on that. Otherwise, your hands just come to your hips. Your left knee is going to bend and just hover a few centimeters off the mat. And then we're going to straighten it. We're going to bend our left knee and then straighten it. One last time. Bend your left knee so it's almost touching the mat. And then straighten it. Our hands come back to the mat. We're going to bring our left foot to meet our right. And then in this position, we're going to slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Your head is the last thing to come up. I don't have much space, so I'm just going to face forward. Our hands come all the way up. And our hands come to heart center. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, look up. And exhale, we're going to hinge at our hips. What we want to focus on is bending our knees as much as possible, and you want to focus on getting your stomach to your thighs if you can. And that's the most important connection. So before we keep going, I'm just going to show you what a lot of people think. When you are trying to help your hamstrings become a little bit less tight, a lot of people just straighten their legs and push and pull themselves closer. But the best way to do it is have your stomach touching your thighs, bend your knees as much as possible, and you're going to let your head hang heavy, and your hips are going to raise, and you're going to bring them all the way up, and then your knees will naturally follow and straighten. But that's what you want to focus on. And then from here, we're just going to inhale. You want to have your knees still slightly bent, and then have a flat back, and then exhale. Have your stomach to your thighs, let your head hang heavy, and then have your hands about shoulder width apart. Fingertips are spread, and we're going to come back into downward dog. Same on the other side. Left leg reaches up, left knee bends. Going to place our left knee onto the mat. Right knee can follow as well. Then you're just going to place your left foot in between your hands. Again, using a bedside table, coffee table, whatever prop you'd like. We're going to come up into a crescent lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Hands can find your prop or your hips. We're going to bend our right knee so it's almost touching the mat. And then straighten it. We're going to bend our right knee and straighten it. Bend your right knee one last time and straighten it. Hands come back to the mat. You're going to bring your right foot to touch your left. Have a nice deep bend and then slowly coming back up. I'm just going to face you guys so I can swing my hands up. Hands come all the way up to touch. Looking up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to hinge at our hips. Stomach touches our thighs. Have a nice deep bend in your knees. We're going to inhale to a flat back. Still have a slight bend in your knees. You can use your prop as well to help your balance if you can't reach the ground. Exhale. Stomach finds your thighs and back into downward dog. Again, right leg reaches up. Bend your right knee. It finds the mat. You can drop your left knee as well. And then your right foot's just going to come in between your hands. Again, use your prop, use any yoga blocks if you need. I will for this one. You want to focus on your hamstrings. You're not focusing on balance. That's why I recommend just using any prop you can. And then as you continuously do these stretches, it'll become a lot easier and you might not need props. So what we're going to do is we're going to lean all the way back onto our hips. Untuck your toes. We're going to flex our right foot. You can just bring it a little bit forward. If you want your hips to still be in one line, so we're not having our right hip pushing all the way forward so that we can extend it. Should just be in one line. Having your right leg straight. we're going to inhale. Just going to bring these forward. Inhale, lunge, then exhale, coming back and straightening our right leg. Inhale, come forward, and exhale, straighten your right leg. Just do a few of these. I always like to do a few movements before we do a static hold. Again, just warming up that area. And then once you've come into this position with your right foot flexed, what you're going to do is, remember I said that you want to focus on that tilt of the hips when having your tailbone raised. You're going to do the same thing here. Anterior pelvic tilt. Stomach is going to try to find the thigh. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, but that's what you want to think. You don't want to think of having your head touch your knee, because that's how that caving action looks. So anterior tilt, stomach tries to find your thigh. That's what you're aiming for, and have your straight back. And you're just going to gently lean forward and just rest here for a few breaths. Each inhale, you just check in with yourself, making sure that your back is nice and straight. You're thinking of your stomach touching your thighs. You can look like this, you can be a lot more forward. Doesn't really matter. Everybody's different. Last inhale. And exhale, coming forward into that lunge. Going to place the yoga blocks aside. Hands find the mat. Your left knee comes up off the ground. And we're just going to come back into a downward dog and repeat on the other side. So left leg raises, bend your left knee. It's going to come to the mat. Then your right knee can just follow. Place your left foot in between your hands. You can move your left foot a little bit more forward if you'd like. You can grab your props again. Untuck your toes. And again, we're just going to find that same movement. So, nice deep lunge. We're going to rock back onto our right hip. Our left foot is flexed and our left leg is straight. And again, a few more bending and then pushing back. Push half split. Once you're in your half split, make sure your foot is flexed. Again, that interior pelvic tilt. Stomach to thigh, just pretend it's touching. Flexing your foot. And then inhale, exhale, lean forward. Pretend your stomach is touching your thigh. What you want to do is just feel the nice stretch in your hamstring. And on your last inhale, exhale, coming forward into that deep lunge. You can remove your yoga blocks. Hands find the mat. Lift your right knee off the mat. And then your left foot comes back into a downward dog. Slowly, you're just going to walk your feet forward. Slowly coming back up, vertebra by vertebra. Then from here, we're just going to rest onto our mat. I'm just going to shift it a little bit. And laying down. Okay. From here, bring your knees into your chest. Going to grip them. We're just going to do some circles and feel your lower back pressing into the mat. And the other way. This should just loosen, relieve any of that back pressure throughout those movements before. You can come to stillness, bring your feet flat on the ground, Bring them a little bit wider than the mat. I need to shift forward so my feet don't hit the wall. And you're just going to drop your knees to the right and left. So these work your hips, your outer hips. It's important to remember that your hamstrings are obviously part of your body and there's different body parts that connect. So you don't always just want to focus on your hamstrings. You want to focus on your hips, your lower back, because they'll all help each other. And when you do these movements, it just relaxes those body parts. And then coming back to stillness, I'm going to shift back onto my mat and it's laying down. But you're going to bring your right knee up. You're just going to straighten your right leg up. If you're up like here, it doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you. And then what you're going to do is just bend your right knee and then straighten it. Bend your right knee and then straighten it. Oh, can you see me shake? Bend your right knee and then straighten it. Bend your right knee and then straighten it. And then bend your right knee. Just give it a gentle squeeze into your chest and then relax it onto the ground. Left knee comes up, left leg extends, and then same thing, you're going to bend your left knee and then straighten it. Bend your left knee, then straighten it. Bend your left knee, then straighten it, and then bend your left knee, squeeze it into your chest, and then relax on the ground. So that's the movement that we're going to do. Now we're going to come into happy baby. So feet are flat on the floor. We're going to lift our bent legs up. Going to see if you can flex your feet and then bring them all the way up. You're going to grab the outer parts of the foot, making sure that our tailbone is pressed into the mat. And we're going to press our knees all the way down into our armpits. So a lot of people have the tendency to just lift up. But again, you want your tailbone still on the mat, feet are flexed, pressing and pulling your feet, and therefore your knees into your armpits. So I got this idea because I've done a short yoga flow for work and I saw some people's hamstrings and then their faces when they were doing it. And, you see at the office all day, no one really uses their hamstrings because they're kind of just sitting down. And that's why they have tight bodies. We're going to slowly release our feet, hug them into our chest, and then place them on the ground. And then coming up. So that was a very condensed Ashtanga yoga, which is more of a fast-paced yoga. We're going to move into yin yoga, so it's a bit more slower than what we did before. As a beginner, you probably don't really know the style of yoga that you're after. This is just to give you a little tester. What you're going to do is find a cushion. I'm going to use a pillow and fold it up. That's going to be my bolster. I'm going to fix my mat because that'll bother me. And you're just going to sit your feet out. You're going to have your left foot come in and touch your inner thigh. If it's near your knee, if it's all the way into your groin area, it doesn't really matter. You're going to flex your right foot. Same thing, you're going to anterior pelvic tilt at your pelvis. And you're going to imagine your stomach touching your thigh. It doesn't really matter because this is where you're going to place your cushion. You're going to inhale, elongate your back, and then fold onto your bolster or your pillow. Then you're just going to chill here for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I find that Ashtanga yoga really helps build my strength, which is also used flexibility. But doing the yin yoga really helps relax those muscles. And it can help. The goal is not to increase your flexibility, but it definitely helps. And I also like to just rest on my pillow. It's like a little mini nap time. Inhale and exhale, slowly come up. I'm going to place my pillow back on my bed and just place your hands behind your hips. Just do some windscreen wipers. Again, this just helps relax your hips. I find that if I don't do movement like this in between any of your yin yoga holds, can be quite sore the next day or for the next few hours. And we're just going to have our feet extended again. Bring your right foot into your inner thigh, your left inner thigh. You'll focus on that anterior tilt, stomach to thigh. Bring your bolster or your pillow cushion. Inhale and exhale, fold forward. Adjust as you need so that you're comfortable. You're going to inhale, exhale, slowly come up. Do the windscreen wipers. And then we're going to do our final hold. And that's just with both legs extended. Tilt your pelvis, stomach to thigh. Bring your pillow or your prop. Feet are flexed. You're going to inhale, make sure your back is nice and long. Exhale, come forward. It can also look like this as well. If you don't have a prop or you don't want to use a pillow, you can have your knees all the way bent, stomach to thigh, and just chill here. Let your head hang heavy. And then as it goes on, you can slowly creep your ankles forward.
Inhale, and slowly swing back up. We're just going to lay down our mat. I'm going to face this way because that's where my window is. Into Shavasana. Just relax your whole body onto the mat. Have your eyes closed. Palms are facing up to the sky or to the ceiling. Check in with your thighs. Check in with your hamstrings. If they're feeling tighter or looser, if they're sore. You can stay in here as long as you'd like. But right now, we're just going to start by wriggling our fingers and our toes, bringing a bit of movement back into the body. You can roll onto one side, keeping your eyes closed. Slowly coming up into a seated. And open your eyes. That's just a very quick yoga flow that will help your tight hamstrings. So I've mixed a bit of movement and then some yin yoga poses that can help. You don't have to follow this whole thing each time. You can pick and choose what you like, make it your own, make it so that's what you like to do. It doesn't have to be like my word's not gospel. And I hope you're feeling good. Thank you so much for watching.